biggest thing that I like to take away is I'm a father of 5. I think that's my life's greatest accomplishment. My children range from 25 years old to 3. So as I'm teaching my granddaughter and my oldest son about finances and how to become a young man, I'm home watching Bluey and putting diapers on his youngest brother. So life in the Bellman family is pretty exciting. So without further ado, I want to talk to you today about how I, as a 19-year-old, successfully navigated the Valley Forge military system, went on to commission in the Army, followed that by the Marine Corps, and then served, I would say, a somewhat successful career serving and wearing our nation's cloth. Now, the greatest speech that has ever been written and spoken was the Gettysburg Address. It lasted only 3 minutes, and it was 272 words. On the other hand, Caesar spoke in front of his Senate for 47 minutes, and we know what happened after he spoke, right? He was killed. All right, on the Ides of March. Luckily, it's not March, and cadets, what I'll do here today is I'll honor your time, because I know I probably stand between you and liberty, but I just want to take a little bit of time and kind of walk you through what 19-year-old Justin Bellman saw and experienced sitting here in these shoes. Raise your hand if you're 19 years old. All right. I was there, I was in your shoes, and I will be talking to you. I'm extremely humbled to be invited back to a place and to look around and realize that Valley Forge has never really left my heart. Although I didn't step on this campus for about 30 years, Valley Forge and the ideas and the institution and the values that are instilled upon you here, they never left me. I'm a bit conflicted about how I want to talk about this because I probably look like an old guy to some of you all. And again, I'm standing between you and liberty. But I thank you very much for doing it. You see, 20 plus years in service, both the Army, both the Marines, and then about a decade in Joint Special Operations, I actually learned what honor was sitting right here and walking this campus, although at the time, when I matriculated to Valley Forge in 1997, I received a little yellow booklet, the cap shield. We still have it? This is mine from 1997. My mother kept it. Inside this, there's honor everywhere as soon as you open it up. Honor's in our mission statement, right? We foster the love of God and country, gentlemanly qualities, and high moral standards, characteristics that will make us a credit to themselves, their families, the alma mater, their country, and their God. It's in our honor pledge. I don't know if we still say it, but we had one at the time. And what is it, right? My goal in life is to achieve honorable success in my profession and to become a citizen of the highest integrity and in my community. More than that little cap shield, I did not know it at the time, but I was surrounded by honor everywhere I went on this campus. It was in our TAC officers, it was in our faculty, and it was in the fellow cadets that I shared a life with while here on campus. One of the best examples was my Fox Company tactical officer, Colonel Thomas Lloyd. This man woke every morning hours before the cadets, still PT'd every day, got a haircut every day, and he would still report to us in an immaculate uniform as a retired colonel. He would spend hours mentoring cadets, and it wouldn't be unlike him to be outside underneath the lights around campus with one leg up on the bricks, talking to a cadet. He never missed a day of work. He would come in on Saturdays and Sundays when his days were off. He was, to me, the example of honor. He used to tell me in his office that honor is gained in thimbles and lost in buckets. To be honest with you, I had no idea what that meant at 19 years old. But as a gentleman standing here today, after wearing the cloth of this nation for 20 plus years, I absolutely know what that means. I learned honor from our first captain, who was also one of my first roommates, Wes Moore, now the governor of Maryland. He would walk around every day as the first captain and pick up trash, because he feared if any alumni walked on this campus and he found it less than perfect, it would be him who would have to answer for it. You see, Wes used to tell me that we inherit Valley Forge from the alumnus, and we maintain it while we're here, and then we hand it off to future generations. Well, today good job, and you all have as well. I learned about honor on the wrestling mat. I learned that a loss should still be treated with respect, because just stepping onto that wrestling mat means you show courage, win or loss. I learned about honor in this chapel, participating in what we call Vespers, which is very similar to this, Mass, and thumbing through this booklet. I learned it in our alma mater, where the men of Valley Forge, our alma mater, we shall ever revere. Courage, honor, conquer, words that will echo down through the years. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to fast forward and tell you how Colonel Boyd's words came smack in front of me where I learned about honor while as an adult in uniform. In 2006, the Al-Anbar province of Iraq was a very volatile area. Looking back at it, that area of Iraq in 2006 was the deadliest place to be on earth. There were 823 service members who were killed in 2006, and unfortunately, one of them was my radio operator, Corporal Michael Estrella from Hemet, California. On the evening of 14 June, Mike and I were walking back. He is my radio operator, I is his lieutenant, from a day of doing snap field control points, patrolling through alleys, setting up areas where we can pull security, and we returned to the base without incident. Later on that evening, one of our other platoons was heavily engaged by enemy, and our company commander wanted to send out a quick reaction force so that we could quickly head into the gunfight, suppress the enemy, and return the fight to our advantage. Mike asked if he could go, because the Marines that were in trouble right now were his brothers. His specific words were to me, and his last words were, "Sir, I gotta go, my brothers are out there." Although it was not our turn to respond to the QRF, I knew Mike would be in good hands, and I knew certainly he would be a force multiplier as a radio operator out there. So Mike left with a happy heart, but unfortunately, he did not return. Upon exiting the vehicle, an insurgent was waiting on top of a rooftop, leaned over, and put one round through Mike's head. Needless to say, we were devastated. We were pissed. We wanted retribution for Mike. We wanted to honor Mike. A few days later, our company commander devised a plan to go out, reinsert ourselves into the same area we were ambushed, and we were going to pay. We were going to let them pay. We wanted blood. We wanted heads to roll. We wanted to honor Mike. Well, as we left our outpost in the late hours of that evening, 60 face-painted Marines quietly crept through the city of Haditha to unleash hell. We managed to skirt several alleys and establish our cordon position and began to make entry into our first set of houses. As I entered the first compound, I had to lift my night vision goggles because there was a bright light that was coming from a kitchen window out into the courtyard. So I did what we normally do. I stacked up, being the officer, I was about 5 or 6 back, and I noticed a commotion up front with 2 Marines. These Marines had pulled their night vision goggles up, and they were about ready to place breaches on the door when they started to look down and give a signal. Well, it took me a few minutes to realize what that signal was, but as we started to pass that hand signal down, I realized that they were telling us that there were 2 pink sandals and a line of shoes outside the house. You see, cadets, Iraq, they keep their shoes and their sandals outside, so it's usually a pretty good foretell if you're able to see who would be inside of the building by their shoes that are outside. Well, this particular night, our breaches signaled that there was a child inside, and that we had to show restraint entering the house. We could not go in guns blazing, because there were little lives, and they were little innocent lives. However much we wanted to go in, roll heads, take that fight to us, honor Mike, we had to show restraint. Because you see, like the Marine Corps hymn, we keep our honor clean. And that night, cadets, the Marines of 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marine honored Michael Estrella by showing restraint in a hostile environment where the feet of those little pink shoes resided. Goes back to the point where I was telling you earlier, and we discussed it afterwards because I did have some Marines that were a little let down. But I told them, Marines, we gain honor in bibbles, and we lose it in buckets. If we went in heavy-handed, guarantee you the next day that city would turn upon us, and we would have more insurgents attacking us. We honored might. We went in with restraint, and we did what we should do, because we are Marines, and we do keep our honor clean. Colonel Helgeson, staff, faculty, cadets, thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. Hope you can walk away with that story, and it is certainly an honor for me to step back into this campus. Thank you.